Hello all. In previous class, we have studied about some of the introduction part and the basics of the international business. So, what are the transactions which comes under international business? In today's class, we are going to understand the nature of the international business. So, here is the points: international restrictions, benefits to participating in the countries, large-scale operations, integrations of the economies dominated by the developed countries, market segments, sensitive nature. So first of all, what is international trade? So as I have explained in the previous class, international trade is the exchange of goods, services, it may be knowledge, it may be patents, intellectual properties or anything for the consideration, and there should be existence of the national borders. Okay, so this is what called as international trade or international business. This can happen between two private companies which is in two different countries. It can happen between the private company and the government which is in two countries, and it can happen between the government and the government of the two different countries, right? Fine. So we'll speak about the nature of the international business. Fine. So first one is international restrictions. In international business, there is a fear of the restrictions which are imposed by the government of the different countries. If you observe, in many countries there is a restriction. So for example, in India there is a restriction for many of the Chinese products. Correct? Even in many countries there will be a restrictions for some of the products, some of the services, or any of the intellectual property, shares, securities, and even for the investment. Okay, so those restrictions may be a tariff barriers or non-tariff barriers. Like see, it may be a trade blocks, it may be tariff barriers, it may be foreign exchange transactions, etc. Okay, so these things are harmful for the international business. This is one of the feature in international business. The second one is benefit to participating countries. It gives a benefits to the countries which are participating in the international business. The richer or developed countries grow their business to the global level and they get a maximum benefits. Okay, the developed countries get the latest technology, foreign capitals, employment opportunities, rapid industrial development, etc. Right? So when our LPG policy is introduced, there are a lot of companies which came to India. Okay, some of the MNCs and the TNCs came to India and they exchanged their technologies and they developed their businesses. So that is the benefit for both the countries, correct? And nowadays the BPOs are increasing, and there are a lot of developed countries which are preferring the BPO companies of the countries like India, where the labor is cheaper. Is it? So they are going to outsource their customer cares or any of the part of their businesses to those countries where the labor is cheaper, right? So this is also treated as international business, where one country is getting the low cost labor and another country is getting the employment opportunities, right? So in international trade, the benefits for both the countries will be definitely there. Sometimes there may be a situations where the win-win condition is not possible. Okay, win-win conditions means benefit for both the countries, winning situation for both the parties. Okay, the win-win condition is not there in a few aspects or a few situations. So third one is the large scale operations. The large scale operations are there in the international businesses. International business contains a large number of the operations at a time because it is conducted on a large scale globally. Because see, if international company is operating in a mini country, then they are going to produce in a large scale. Am I right? So let's say the Samsung is operating in a 10 countries, okay, and they are introducing one particular model. Then what they will do? Will they produce that one differently for a different countries? No, they're going to produce that particular model at once. Then after, the necessary changes for that particular country, like some of the domestic laws and all, and some of the changes, okay, if it is needed, then they're going to make that changes in the domestic level. Is it? So large scale operations are found in the international trade. They have to fulfill the demand at a global level marketing of those products is also conducted at a large scale to make them aware of the product. Firstly, they fulfill the domestic demand and then they export the surplus in the foreign market. So usually this will be the approach of every large international businesses or international companies. Okay, so at the beginning they are going to fulfill the demand of domestic country, their home country, and then after the surplus production what is there, they are going to send it to their host countries or else some of the other countries where the demand is there for that particular product. Okay, integration of economies. International business combines the economies of the many countries. There may be a combination of many countries. For example, European Union, where there is a 27 countries, okay, and they are going to trade in euro. All 27 countries are traded in euro. Between these 27 countries, only one particular currency, that is euro, is exchanged. Okay, so there may not be any of the political borders and all. There may not be some of the restrictions. Okay, so liberalized policy is followed in those 27 countries. In fact, till 2020 January, the number of the countries in European Union was 28. The UK also was the part, and UK came out officially after the Brexit agreement. Okay, so there was some of the conflicts happening between those countries. Then officially they came out in January 2020. Now the UK is not a part of European Union. There are a lot of loans which were outstanding in the European Union, and UK is thought that the European Union is riskier for the major country like UK, and that's why they came out of the European Union. Some examples for the integrations are BRICS, European Union, fine, dominated by the developed countries. This is one of the main feature of the international trade. Okay, in international trade, the domination is found. Okay, there are a lot of developed countries like the USA, Europe, Japan, and all. They are going to dominate some of the developing and underdeveloped countries. Okay, even the China is included in this particular group right now, because there are many countries which are dependent on China for the electrical products. Okay, for the electronics, and some of the smartphones, they are dependent purely on the China, even for the funds and all. So domination by the developed countries are there. International business is dominated by the developed countries and MNCs. Okay, countries like US, Europe, and Japan, all are the countries that are producing high quality products. The quality of the products are more, and they are going to sell it in some of the developing countries, right? They have the people working for them on high salaries. They have a large financial and other resources like a best technology and research and development centers. Okay, therefore they produce a good quality products and services at a lower prices. They help to capture the world market. The next one is a market segmentation. The international business is based on the market segmentation on the basis of the geographical segmentation of the consumers. Okay, so obviously the international companies are going to focus on the geographical segmentation. On the basis of these all things, the companies are going to produce and supply their products. Okay, so this is regarding a market segmentation. The next one is sensitive in nature. International business is highly affected by the economic policies. Okay, the economic policies of any one of the country. Okay, for example, if the India is change their economic policy, it will affect the international companies which are operating in India. Is it? If the economic policy of the US is changed, it will affect the international companies which are operating in US. Likewise, it is sensitive in nature. The government of one particular country may change their policy any time. So international business is highly affected by the economic policies, political environment. Obviously, the political environment will be affected. Technology is also one of the important part here. Okay, it can play a positive role to improve the business, and it can be also the negative for the businesses. Okay, it totally depends on the policies made by the government. It can help in expanding the business and maximizing the profits and vice versa. So it may be positively affected, or the companies may be affected negatively. Okay, so this is the nature of the businesses. If there is any confusions, you can raise your doubts in the Google Classroom.